All right, everybody, welcome to this is our first of a series. What's Your Fuel is the name of the channel. My name is Evan Rhodes, and I'm joined tonight by Joy Guzman, calling from the Philippines. And we're going to be
Aloha.
talking, yeah, aloha, aloha. We're going to be talking tonight about body composition analysis and why it's important. And this is going to be the first of a series of videos that we're going to eventually put into a playlist to bring as much value to you for your own health and peace of mind and just peace and to be able to create freedom in your life from health. Okay, so what our team specializes is body composition analysis to start off with. But first, as a person who is looking to become healthier, you need to be willing to jump on one of our biofeedback scales that breaks down exactly what your weight is made of. Because a lot of people think that they want to lose weight, and weight is the end all be all. Okay. There's much more to it than just weight. It's what your body composition or what the weight is made up of that is most important. So when we have people jump on our scale, what we're doing is getting a baseline number of where they're currently at, where their current body composition is today. And from there, we can create a meal plan and make small adjustments to help you get healthier. Small increments and consistency throughout is what's going to generate good, positive, healthy results that will last you forever. You will not have to worry about weight loss or poor health ever again. And that in itself is liberating. Okay. So Joy is on tonight too because dietary needs are much different in the Philippines. I mean, the diet is different, people are different, socioeconomic classes are different than in the US. I'm currently in Hawaii, and that's not to say one is better than the other. It's just different cultures, different peoples, and different diets, and what people consider healthy. So when we do body composition analysis, the primary numbers we're looking at so weight as a whole, like I was saying, but how much muscle you have, how much fat you have, and there's two types of fat primarily. There's like a subcutaneous fat that is like on the outside, you can see, pinch, feel, that someone you can look at someone and be like, that person is fat. And then there's visceral fat, which is inside your abdominal cavity. So underneath the muscle layer, underneath the abdominal muscle. So when you hear of people that have like fatty liver or fatty heart or high cholesterol or diabetes, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or in the Philippines, they'll call it high blood, right? Those are
Yes.
all chronic conditions that primarily deal with high visceral fat. So body composition, we look at your current muscle content, the two different types of fat, how much hydration you have, how much water, and also what your resting metabolic rate is, because your resting metabolic rate is highly determined by how much your fat to muscle ratio is. So when you keep your muscle and drop fat, you'll notice that because fat burns more calories at rest, your resting metabolic rate will rise. Okay, and that's a good thing. All right, so from my own experience here, and then I'll ask Joy because she's a coach over there in the Philippines, and her people get fantastic results. And I want to hear a little bit about what she tells them and what I tell my people here. It's probably going to be pretty close, but you're going to hear differences. So when we get a body composition analysis done with your numbers, I can put down, using your resting metabolic rate, a meal plan that guarantees you drop fat if you're consistent and you listen. Okay. And I'm not talking about major life changes where you got to drink just liquid diet or anything crazy ass like that. I'm talking about small changes, thinking about lean protein first, starchy stuff like dark green second, and starchy carbs last. So here in Hawaii, we're a very diverse ethnic culture over here. And people love their starches. People love rice. And growing up, I would have equal portion of protein and equal portion of rice. And then salad sometimes was like a macaroni salad where it was starch again. So tons and tons of starch. And when you're young, that's okay. But if those habits don't change and the consistency of all that starch over years continues, that's where people start having health problems. So right now I'm 53 years old. My blood work is perfect. I am not diabetic. And I've been doing this stuff and teaching this stuff for 20 years. So here in Hawaii, it's probably kind of the same. In the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
what do they typically eat in the Philippines?
Rice, bread, and a lot of carbs.
Rice, bread, fried food, fried
Yes,
fish, fried chicken, pork,
everything is
right?
fried.
A lot of sugar, right?
Yes,
A lot of sugar. Like kids love
street
sugar,
food.
sugary food. So starch is basically sugar. So white rice, what I've heard anyway, is like 80% sugar once it's
Hmm.
digested. That's why people like, and we'll get into it in subsequent um, issues of this series. But for today, we're going to try to focus on body composition. So when you weigh people typically, Joy, in the Philippines, what is their like? So we'll just take like women your age. So you're 32,
Yes.
right? So typically, like one of your peers, you weigh them. What would be the typical body composition over there?
Um, their body fats is high and their weight is normal. Which is like it's malnutrition because over here in the Philippines it's like poor nutrition. So if we say over there it's like obese, right? So we're kind of like what do you call this? Difference.
So they
So
look fat,
yeah, they look fat, but they're not
but they're
really
not
fat.
overweight.
Yes, they're not
Okay,
overweight.
so that's a pretty good example because you can if somebody is their weight is okay but their body fat is high, that means that they're lacking in muscle. And if they're lacking in muscle,
Exactly.
they're lacking in protein. They're lacking in the
Mm-hmm.
amount of protein they get because I'll tell you one thing, people in the Philippines, at least from my own experience, they're not lazy people. I mean, they walk everywhere, they do laundry by hand, they clean, they do a lot of movement and all kinds of stuff, right? So
And they wake up early.
wake up early. So it's not like they're just like they're not active. In the US,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of inactivity. So people might eat more protein and it might be like more fatty sources of protein. So here in the US, I'll see people that are overweight with high body fat, but high muscle content. So they have high muscle content, tons of fat, like 30, 40, sometimes over 50% of their body weight is fat. And they're on all kinds of medications, which just complicates the whole thing, right? So hypertension
Yes.
medication, type 2 diabetes medication, to name the two main ones, really. And their
Mm-hmm.
main chief complaint usually is they want to get off medication, and usually it's because they have kids and they want to be able to run around and be healthy with their kids. Like that's one of the key reasons why they're willing to learn, right? To learn and make the decision to jump on the scale. Because at the end of the day, if somebody is not willing to get their baseline body composition, it's more challenging to help them. I mean, we can, but it's a little bit more challenging because we don't know where they're at. And if we don't know where they're at and we make changes, it's hard to gauge the changes in what we're doing if it's correct or not. We only can go by how they feel. Yeah. So if they say,
That's true.
oh, my energy is going up, that's a good sign. So then it's like, how are your pants fitting? Oh, my pants are fitting looser. Okay, that's a good sign. But we don't know exactly how much muscle they're keeping or if they're losing it. We only
Mm-hmm.
know that they're feeling better, they have more energy, which is a good sign that they're increasing muscle, and their pants are fitting looser, which is meaning that they're dropping fat. But we don't know if it's visceral fat, and we don't know
Or
if it's,
muscle.
or yeah, visceral fat or if it's subcutaneous fat. So I would highly recommend, if you're listening to this call, to get on a body composition scale so that we can better serve you. Okay. So that being on the side, the differences in the, the diets in one place to another place. I have seen when people in the Philippines make small changes because they're so deficient in protein or like nutrition, the 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 changes in their bodies are dramatic, and I mean fast. Like body. So we do a series of every month. We have body transformation challenges, and Joy has coached several people to winning that thing, and they win cash. So they win cash, and they also get to feel a lot better. I've helped a bunch of people, and I've used myself as a guinea pig over
Mm-hmm.
some of the challenges to like, okay, I'm gonna try jump in. I'm gonna use myself as a guinea pig, and I'm gonna like play to win, and I win. It's not rocket science.
Congratulations.
It's just, it's just knowing how to tweak little things to eat a little cleaner consistently. That's it. So when we do these things, we offer products through Herbalife, and I'm not trying to sell you product. Without results, there is no sale of any product anyway. So the first step is to get on a scale, know where you're at. Just like if you go to the doctor and you get your blood pressure checked, your baseline blood pressure is where you're at. It doesn't mean that's where you're going to stay because you want to drop it, right? So they say, oh, exercise more, eat better. Okay, but how? Or like, I'm a type 2 diabetic. Somebody might say, I'm on type 2 diabetes medication, and the doctor said that I got to lose weight. Well, how? Then I'll ask, what did he say to do? Oh, exercise more, eat more vegetables.
Yes,
But
that's true.
there's no tracking. So that's what we help people with. Okay. So you have anything to add to that before I go on?
Yeah, I wanna follow up on that. I wanna add on that thing because like over here in the Philippines, um, they really they want to go to their doctors. They're going to believe to their doctors because they are doctors.
Yeah.
So um, when the doctor said that you need to lose weight, you need to drop weight, they're gonna do exercise and then eat more vegetable, and they forgot to eat protein, and the doctors never say to eat protein. I just notice it,
Yeah. A
you
lot
know.
of times I've seen people that just take the doctor's word for it. So the
Mm-hmm. Yes.
doctors are gonna, and I'm not like, doctors are great. Okay. I'm not saying, I'm not dissing doctors, and I'm not a doctor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All I can explain is what I've helped people do, helping them with their nutrition, specifically their nutrition. And what I can tell you is that some people will just get on medication because that's what the doctor said. If they're borderline, they just get on the medication, and the doctor will say like lose weight, so they starve themselves. But we all know people, and I was one of them. Before I started doing this stuff 20 years ago, I could not lose weight. I mean, maybe I'd lose like 5 pounds, maybe like it would be a stretch to lose 10, but I was fat, and I could not understand why I'm not eating and why I couldn't keep that weight off. It was just, I thought something was wrong with me. So when I started doing this and I dropped 35 pounds and 6 inches off my waist and maintained it with an increase in energy, that was like mind blowing to me. It was a miracle. Like, I couldn't believe it. Seriously, my belt loop was like 5 holes down, and I could see where the indent on the belt buckle was on my leather belt. And I was like, wow. And it happened quick, like Like over the course of 3 months, it went down a lot. And I was like, man, I needed to buy new pants and shorts because I could literally just like pants myself. Like I could pull my shorts down when they were tied. Like that's how much fat I lost. My energy went way up. I stopped drinking coffee. And I was like, man, this is amazing. And now when I look around and I see people that are 100 pounds overweight, 200 pounds overweight, I'm blown away that they're able to function, because they're carrying, imagine carrying an extra body
Yes.
on you around every day, going to work, working yourself out, like doing exercise, all this stuff, what the doctor said, and you can't keep the weight off. And you're tired, then you got to go and cook for the kids or whatever. It's just like, no wonder people get discouraged. So
Yeah.
that's what we help people do is we are a solution using a simple body composition scale to get your body, your baseline to determine where we can help you. And then we implement a plan and we follow up with you. So I don't really like to call myself a coach. Some people call
Hmm.
themselves a coach. I'm more like an advisor because it's really up to the individual on if they're
Based on the
ready.
experience.
Yeah, on if they're ready. Based on my own experience, like I don't try to talk people into things anymore because if I got to
Hmm.
talk them into being healthy, I got to talk them into eating right. I got to talk them into exercising. I got to listen to all their excuses about why they couldn't do it or whatever, you know? And it's not excuses with a solution. The solution is there. But if I can work with somebody who's decided, okay, I'm going to jump on this scale, I'm serious. Okay, here's your plan. Can you do this? I can do that. It's not hard. Okay, can you be consistent? I can be consistent. They're going to get great results. That's going to be mind blowing for them as well. That's been my experience. So,
Oh, yes. I want to share my experience too. Because if your experience was losing weight, mine is gaining weight. So the first time I met you, which is my coach, I call him a coach. So he told me, "Oh, you're so fat. Your tummy is big. So you need to lose weight." It's like, really? It's like I need to gain weight.
I don't I don't recall the story. I don't recall saying that, but what Joy was she was like she had skinny legs, skinny arms, but her tummy
Hmm.
was like her stomach was like bulging.
Yes.
And later on, I found out that she was constipated. She had problems with her menstrual cycle. All kinds of things. She
Skin
had,
problem,
yeah, skin problem,
asthma,
asthma, and we're not saying that like we're not advertising
skin.
that this is a cure
Yes.
or anything like that. But I will say
Hmm.
this, and I will say this, that when you give yourself the right nutrition, your body has a way of taking care of itself, and it's been like that for millions of years. Physiologically, we are perfect machines. So if
Hmm.
we give ourselves the right fuel, that's why my channel is like, what's your fuel? You give yourself the right fuel, your body will repair itself. But it starts with your digestion and everything else that goes into it. And we'll go into all that stuff. So be sure to tune back in. If you feel like this video is helpful to you, please do us a favor and click on the like button, yeah, and subscribe because you'll
Yes.
be you'll be privy to upcoming video segments that we do that I think could help you a lot. All right, and we do Herbalife, and Herbalife is one solution, but it is just one solution that I found to be very easy and effective and easy to do consistently over time. But there are many other solutions out there, and I've done a lot of them. And I've kind of mixed in some of them with Herbalife too, like intermittent fasting, keto diets, stuff like that. I've done all those. So
Hmm.
feel free to drop in any comments, in the comment section below. And yeah, we'll maybe do a segment based on your comment too to answer your question. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else to add before I end it?
Um. Yeah. Just go to your coach or ask for, try to do like go on the weighing scale, get the body composition.
Get your body
You will need
composition.
that.
Yeah. If you need a coach, we are here to help you. You can send me an email. My email is Evan K. Rhodes, Rhodes, EVANKRHODES at
Okay.
gmail.com. And then Joyce, what is your email?
Maria BJ Guzman at gmail.com, which is MARI Guzman GUZMAN at gmail.com.
Or you could follow me or ask me questions on Instagram. And that is one word, what's your fuel? And you can follow me there and hit me up with questions as well. What is yours, Joy? Your Instagram?
Joy G underscore to the world. That's my
Joy,
IG.
joy to the world. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we love you guys. We wish you the best in 2021. This is going to be our year and your year to be the fittest possible. And we bid you farewell for now. See you next time. Aloha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mahalo.